Welcome to Pour the Wine, It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary. And I'm pouring the
You're
wine.
pouring the wine. Time to pour the cab sav.
I know.
Welcome back to Tinsel Tuesdays, where we review all things Christmas.
Yes, we do.
Today, we're going to be reviewing episode number 5 of Mistletoe Murders.
5
no,
already?
That means there's only one more after this for now, until season 2 comes.
Yes.
It is titled Death of a Humbug Part 1, and it originally aired on November 28th, 2024 on Hallmark Plus.
Ha, ha, ha.
Okay, that did not work. I thought you were going for ho, ho, ho. Or I don't know what happened.
I was going to say ho, 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 and I went ha, ha, ha. Actually, I was going to say bah, humbug, but I didn't.
Well, you could kind of, I guess. It's called Death of a All right.
We'd love it if you would click that follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode. If you listen on Apple or Spotify, you can also leave us a review.
And we really appreciate if you took the time to leave us a review.
Yes.
It's a free way to help us out, right?
Yes, it is.
And hopefully it's a positive review.
Yeah, we hope it's a positive.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no. You can also find us on our social media.
All the things.
Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, and of course, Threads.
Yes, please head on over to the socials and let us know your thoughts about Mistletoe Murders if you watched it back then or now, because it's on Hallmark Plus.
Yeah.
You can also email us at pourthewinei'sromcomtime@gmail.com.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
So drop us a line.
Drop it like it's hot.
So, are we adding any new actors to this
We
episode?
are going to add a few. We have a new episode, so it is a new cast of characters who are suspects in the murder. If you want to hear the core group of actors who are in every episode, you can go back and listen to our review of episode 1 at the very beginning. We list all the actors. You can find them there.
Yes, you can.
And then we've been adding as we go. Any newbies?
Newbies.
So in Death of a Humbug Part 1, we have Tom Cavanaugh. He plays Glenn Shaw. His Hallmark premiere was in 2010 in Trading Christmas. He was also in 4 Darrow and Darrow mystery movies between 2017 and 2019. His other work dates all the way back to 1990.
Oh, my goodness.
You're a granddaughter. Some of his work includes he was in 1 episode of Superman and Lois in 2024.
Okay.
The Flash. He was in 146 episodes for that run from 2014 to 2023. He was in Supergirl, 3 episodes, 2017 to 2019. The Following. We really like The Following.
Yeah, I like The Following.
He was in 4 episodes in 2014. He is largely known for playing Ed Stevens in the popular series Ed, which is really cute. 83 episodes between 2000 and 2004.
Okay.
He's like did you ever watch that?
No, I did not.
He was a lawyer. I think he was in like a big city and then kind of Hallmarky. He moved back to a small town and he opened up a law office in a bowling alley. It was sort of like the premise. It was kind of cool.
I think I
cute.
remember. But I never watched it.
And
but
here's
I
a little.
remember people talking about it.
Huh?
I remember people talking about it.
Yeah, I thought it was really cute. Here's a little tidbit, another little tidbit about him. He was in 2 movies. I believe it was for ABC, Snow and Snow 2 with Ashley Williams.
Oh, get out of here.
I don't have the years for those, but I believe it was early 2000s, late 90s.
Wow.
Yep. Benjamin Sutherland plays Fred Johnson, which is Glenn's nephew. His Hallmark work includes Christmas in Toyland in 2022 and Love Locks in 2017.
Okay.
Some of his other work includes Grey. He was in 8 episodes in 2023. The Kings of Napa, 5 episodes in 2022. Kim's Convenience, 4 episodes between 2019 and 2020. And Saving Hope in 2017.
Okay.
Josette George plays Morgan Johnson, which is Fred's wife. Her Hallmark work includes The Christmas Charade in 2024 and Crossword Mysteries, Proposing Murder in 2019. She's also been in Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent for 1 episode, Schitt's Creek for 1 episode. We see that a lot in 2020. And she voiced the role of June in the Mistletoe Murders podcast in 2022.
Wow.
Yeah, she was June.
She was June, huh? Okay.
Jake Epstein plays Noah Johnson, which is Fred's brother. For Hallmark, he was just recently in all 4 of the Hearts Around the Table movies in 2025, which are great. Go watch them. We really enjoyed them.
Yes, we did.
3 of the Unwrapping Christmas movies in 2024, which are coming to the Hallmark Channel for Christmas in July. They aired first on Hallmark Plus last year.
Yep.
The Wedding Contract in 2023. He was in one episode of Good Witch in 2017 and Charming Christmas in 2015. Some of his other work outside of Hallmark includes The Hardy Boys. He was in 11 episodes between 2022 and 2023. The Umbrella Academy, 5 episodes in 2022. Suits, 13 episodes between 2017 and 2019. We love Suits.
Not going to sing
And Designated Survivor, 28 episodes between 2016 and 2018. What'd you say? You're not going to say what?
I'm not going to sing it.
You're not going to sing the Suits song? Don't do it. Don't do it. You can't do it. No.
Can't do it. Not going to do it.
I know you want to do it. I know it. We love Suits. Brandon McGibbon plays Harvey Saltzman. I think this is his first Hallmark premiere. He was in an episode of Sue Thomas FBI, and I is EYE.
Ooh.
Get it?
Okay.
It's on Hallmark Plus, but it's not Hallmark production.
Okay.
So go figure that.
Yeah.
Some of his other work includes Transplant, 1 episode in 2024. The series C on Apple Plus TV was in 1 episode in 2021. Rain, 1 episode in 2016. And he's also done actually a lot of voice work in animated series. Big Blue, he was 1 episode in 2022. The animated series Squish. He was in 52 episodes between 2019 and 2020.
Wow. Okay.
Pooja Upal plays Talia Greer. She plays Glenn's attorney. This is her Hallmark premiere.
Okay.
She was in 1 episode of The Handmaid's Tale in 2025. Alert Missing Persons Unit in 2023 for 1 episode.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Reindeer Games Homecoming. That is, I believe it aired on the Lifetime network, I think. Sarah Drew.
Okay.
Do you know who Sarah Drew is?
Name sounds familiar.
Emily. She plays Emily in Mistletoe Murders.
Oh.
That's Sarah Drew.
Oh, what am I doing? See?
Wake up.
So
Drink some
about
wine.
it.
Drink some wine.
Duh.
She wrote, executive produced, and starred in Reindeer Games Homecoming and one other, I think, movie also. She was also in Fatherhood in 2021. And by she, I mean the Pooja Upal. So there you go. Those are the new characters that are in this particular episode of Mistletoe Murders.
Okay. Part 1. Yes.
Part 1.
All right.
Yeah, y'all.
You want some trivia time?
I don't know. Do I?
Sure. Why not?
Sure. Go for it. Give me some trivia. Lay it on me.
Okay.
What do we got?
What is Hallmark's summer movie event called?
The Passport to Love?
No.
No. Just kidding.
Summer Nights.
Summer Nights.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're looking at me like...
Do we have more to that, or is that it?
That was it. Sorry.
I love these little tidbits.
You're looking at me like...
Summer
is there anything
Nights.
else to this?
Okay,
No,
all right.
is
All
there?
right, that works. I like the Passport to Love movies.
I know. I know.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's time to drop the synopsis.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready
It's
for
long.
it.
Are you ready?
Yes.
A murder leads Emily and Sam to a scavenger hunt orchestrated by the victim. End scene.
Oh, my goodness.
That's the synopsis.
I was falling asleep. That was so long.
Oh, sure.
Well, we're probably going to give away some spoilers. So
We are.
if you
Sorry,
have not
take a
watched
sip.
it already or last year, go watch it. Come back and listen to our podcast.
Correct,
Let us
because
know what you think.
you will hear some spoilers, and
Yes.
you'll be like, "Oh, I should have watched it first." So
Yes.
go watch it and then come back. Or if you don't care and you just want to hear about it,
Yeah,
we're here for that too.
we're here for that.
So previously on the last episode, which was Peril of the Bells Part 2,
Part those.
we solved the murder. Right? We had a
Yes, we
couple
did.
different resolutions. Again, spoiler alert. If you
Yes.
haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yep.
We find out that Vera killed Clara.
Yes.
And Adam was poisoning Debbie.
Yep.
We find out that, Emily kind of let Sam in a little bit more, right? She gives him,
She sure did.
more of the story of her parents dying. They get a little bit closer.
Yeah. Why Christmas? Why'd you
Why
like
Christmas is
Yep.
so special to her.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have Chimera, where Emily is trying to have her computer run a program to find, she refers to it as him.
Right.
So she keeps saying he in this episode. So she's running a program and then all of a sudden her computer says, I know you are there and I will find you.
Dun, dun, dun.
So that's where we left off. Correct? Am I forgetting anything?
Nope, I think you're good.
And we're about to start a new murder.
A new
murder in this episode.
Yes, we are. So,
all right.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Let's dive into it. So it starts off with a party.
A party. They're whooping it up at the diner, right?
Yes.
Sue's diner.
Sue's diner.
Sue. I like that we get to see a lot of Sue in this episode.
Yeah. She's a funny character.
Yeah. We saw, this was kind of like, it wasn't her episode, but she was in it a lot more. And we heard her actually speak more than 2 words or a sentence or 2, right? So it's pretty cool.
And what she does,
it
is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we see Glenn, who is dressed in a Santa Claus suit.
He's Santa Claus at the party. He kind of crashes the party.
Yeah, he kind of crashes.
Not really invited. He just comes on in, right?
And he hands out gifts.
Yes. To certain people.
Yes.
A handful of people.
And then the next thing you know, we have a murder.
And you kind of find out right away, people are kind of shocked that he's there.
Right.
They're not really sure what he's doing there. And he's kind of like the town curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Hence the humbug, right? Like,
the humbug.
The humbug. Yeah. He's sort of, but I believe he's given the books to people that he likes, even though one of them might be the murderer. We don't know yet. We don't know. So he gives out the books and then he ends up dead.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to a party, you hand out a gift, and then you die.
And then you got your suspects.
What happens?
And Sue was one of the main ones.
Right. So the books he gives out are like limited editions or versions of the Christmas Carol. Right. So they each get
a book.
Mm-hmm. That's the Christmas Carol.
Yeah. And Emily, she when she first met Glenn, had told her a story about the Christmas Carol.
Had told him
about how her mom and dad used to read her that book. And he said, well, what was the cover like? And she described it. And that was the book that he actually gave her.
He found that edition of it because it had like a green cover. And she was kind of touched by that. She's like, he remembered. I thought that was kind of a cool part.
I kind of like that. That was pretty good.
Right. So in each book, you find out that there's an invitation.
Yes.
To go see the attorney.
Yeah.
Right, or an attorney. We don't know who it is. It's for them to show up.
Yeah.
And I think, does Emily find it and then she lets everybody know, or they all realize there was one, right? Because when she goes to the attorney.
Well, she finds it, and then she asks everybody if they also found one. And not everybody got a card in their book. Okay. Only about 5 people.
Well, that's all he handed out, I thought.
No, I think there was more. But they all show up, and they all show up at the law office, right?
Yeah.
And we get a new character. What was his name? Harvey.
Yes. Right.
Well, they're all there to watch a video that Glenn left for them.
Well, you find out, okay, let's back up just a little bit because we're not really.
Back it up. Back the truck up.
So who ends up with a book? Brooke.
Brooke ends up with a book.
Fred, who is Glenn's nephew.
Yep.
Fred's wife goes, but she did not get a book.
Correct.
Emily
gets a book.
Who'd you say?
Harvey gets a book.
Harvey gets a book.
And Sue gets a book.
Sue got a book, but she threw it away.
She threw it away
because she does not like him.
No.
We find out. We'll go back into that in a little bit.
Okay.
But she did not like Glenn at all.
Right.
And it's kind of funny the reason why. And then Noah, does he get a book? Now, Noah is Fred's brother, Glenn's other nephew.
Right.
And he shows up later, but does he?
Yes, he gets a package.
He gets a package
that has
which is
a key.
The book. Oh, wait. Okay. Right. Sorry.
Yes. So,
yeah. I'm all over the place.
No, that's okay. We're all in it to win it.
Can we just talk about, let's go back for a minute. After Glenn dies and Emily goes to talk to Sue and she's at her diner and she's like, oh, why did he have to die here? Like Sue, that whole scene cracked me up because
she did say, she said something. And then she's like, why does he think I'm a suspect? And she says it out loud. And Emily goes, oh, Well, I don't know. How dare he?
Yeah, she says, "Can you believe Sam interrogated me?" That's what Sue said
Yes.
to Emily, and Emily goes, "The nerve of that man." Because Sue found Glenn.
Yes.
She was touching the murder weapon.
I know.
And she hates Glenn. And
she-
it's no secret. And they had a
She abandoned him.
disagreement at some point. Right. We don't know why yet, but we find out that she really just does not like him.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he said you don't have beans in chili, in real chili.
So she banned him from the
think
diner.
You think it's something serious, but it's a bean.
I know. You think it's really deep.
It's where you have a bean pie.
And she was like, "Of course there are beans in chili."
Yes.
And so she's like, "I
So
banned
she
him."
banned him. Oh, poor.
It kind of reminded me of like Seinfeld, the soup Nazi.
Oh, yes.
No soup for you.
No soup for you.
That's what she did to him. Boy, she's a tough nut to crack, isn't she? That Sue.
Right. So while they're all sitting around in the office at the law firm, she puts the key in, or the USB drive in, and Glenn made it. The lawyer.
The lawyer puts right,
Yes.
because she had the
Right.
USB drive, and so she plays it
And
or puts it in. You're
right. And Glenn's on it, and he tells a story. So apparently he knew he was going to die. Or
I don't think so.
Or he knew.
I was going to actually say this at the end.
Okay.
But since you brought it up,
Let's hear it.
I actually don't. I mean, I don't think he knew he was going to die. I think he was doing something, and maybe he was going to leave. Maybe remember because he had found out. You find out that he'd been diagnosed with something, Huntington's disease,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think he did something for the people that he liked in the town. That's what I believe,
Okay.
but I don't know. We haven't watched
You
it.
might be right. You might be right.
Otherwise, how would he know he was going to die unless somebody was after him or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's true.
That's just my suspicion is I don't think he knew he was going to die. And I think he set this up for them to play.
Right.
And when he said, "I'm gone," I think he was going to leave town or leave. That's what I think.
I think you're right.
I mean, I don't know. We'll find out next episode since they wrap it up. But
yes.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Yes.
All right. I digress. Sorry.
Okay. That's fine. You made a good point. So don't worry about it.
So he's on the video. He tells the story.
Right. And it's all about finding, it's like almost a treasure hunt, right? So they got to figure out clues.
Right.
They have to work together.
Right.
So you have 4 of the 5 books, right? Because they don't know where the 5th book is yet.
Right.
So they have to work together to solve this. But because Glenn is his uncle, Fred's kind of hesitant because, the books that are in that store that are first editions are their inheritance.
Right.
And Glenn says there's going to be a big prize at the end if you figure this all out.
Right. And the books are gone. The books are missing from their cases.
Yes.
The ones that are worth, especially the first edition, right? It's a lot of money that's gone, but Fred's wife doesn't want to play the game because she thinks Fred and her deserve all of the money that would come from that would be generated by those books.
Yeah, Morgan.
Those editions, of the Christmas Carol.
But that's fair, right?
What's fair?
The books have been in the family forever. I mean, you would think you would be next to
Glenn.
Glenn.
No, I disagree. Glenn, you can do whatever you want when it's your property. Glenn can do whatever he wants with it. You don't have to leave stuff to family if you don't want to.
All right.
Maybe he doesn't like Glenn's wife.
Well,
or not Glenn's wife. I'm sorry. Maybe he doesn't like Fred's wife. Maybe Glenn doesn't like his nephew. Why? I don't know.
Could be. She could be. So let's talk about the elephant in the room that night.
What's the elephant in the room that
night? Harvey shows up, right?
While they're at the attorney's office.
And everybody's like, "Who are you?"
Right. They don't know, right?
And apparently he knew Glenn back in the day in the city because Harvey owned a hot dog stand, and that's where Glenn used to pay him in books. So that's where Harvey comes in.
How did he get his book?
Glenn.
Do we know yet?
Well, we don't.
He didn't.
We just
say
assume
right?
that Glenn mailed it to him.
Right. We don't know.
But we don't know.
He just shows up at the meeting because he had the invite and the book. Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we have Fred, Harvey, Emily,
Brooke,
and Brooke that are there. Those are the 4, and there's one book missing.
Yes.
We don't know who has it yet.
Not yet.
Right.
So,
and Glenn says they're going to go on. He wants them to do this scavenger type hunt to find these clues.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
So we also find out that Fred's mom also had Huntington's disease.
Oh, yeah,
And, you know,
right.
but
And
that'll
Glenn
come up
took
in a
care
minute.
of her.
That
Yeah.
Glenn took care of her. All right. So in one of the clues, it talked about, back in the day, torches, and Emily figures out what the clue means, what torch means. And torch back in the old days meant like a flashlight.
Right.
So she figured out, because the clue talked about shine the torch on, was it Scrooge or somebody?
I kind of was, right.
And so
I would need to watch it again
Yeah.
to see exactly what that clue was. We're bad.
I know.
We're bad.
I know. But she
We're bad
figured
hunters of killers.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, she figures it out. And so she goes and she grabs the UV light that you use to check money, right? To make sure money's not
Right.
counterfeit.
She always has these light bulb moments.
I know.
Yeah.
And then, which I like about the show.
Yeah. It's cute.
So she goes through the pages and she shines the light, and lo and behold, a word shows up.
Right.
So she contacts everybody else that has a book so that she can find out what word is in their book.
What all the words are.
Yeah, because it's come to find out it's 3 words in each book.
Right.
So we find that out, right?
Right.
And in the meantime, they wanted to get together at the under the Mistletoe store and figure out what all the words mean, because you have to arrange them to figure out what it is, right?
Right.
So, but Glenn doesn't want to play that game, right?
Right.
Or not Glenn, Fred.
Glenn is dead.
Yes.
Glenn is dead.
Glenn is dead.
Drop dead Fred.
He's taking
Glenn
a dirt
is dead.
nap. Oh,
Right.
man.
A dirt nap. Yeah. Glenn is dead.
Any hoot.
Any hoot.
Emily convinces Morgan, which is Fred's wife, to give up a book so they can figure out this puzzle.
Right. And it kind of sounds like, though, Fred, because he comes in and he's like, what does he say? He says, Morgan decided. And then he goes, well, we decided.
Yeah.
We're gonna participate.
So we know who wears the
Because
pants.
they were not going to help at all with the book and the words and everything. So Emily writes down all the words on index cards. Yeah. And then they put them up on a board, and then it's time. So there's supposed to be a total of 15, right?
Right. I think so.
Because there were three in each book, and there are 5 books, but they only have 12.
Right.
So they know there's going to be a gap. So the trick is putting together what the words are supposed to say without 3 of the words.
And that was a fun scene.
Yeah, it really was. So they're all trying to maneuver them and
and there's music,
unscramble
Christmas
them,
music
and there's
on,
Christmas music. And they're like, wait, put
fun.
this here. What about under the mistletoe or whatever?
Yeah.
And they're moving them around. So that was really cute. And then when they come up with whatever the phrase is, and I should have written it down. Did you?
No, I didn't write it down because we'd have to stop it and write it down.
I should have written it down, because then once they're done, Sam's like, it sounds like we're almost there, because they're not quite there. They're missing words. And yeah. That was a really cute and fun scene, and they're all working together.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the clue is supposed to be.
Exactly. So then we find out who Noah is, right?
Right. After that.
Yeah.
Is it after that scene?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're walking back to the store because they figured out that there's another clue that might be in a book in the store. And I can't remember, what was the name of the book?
Now, did they get that from the sentence or no?
Yeah, they got it. Yeah, I think they did.
Why is my memory like, ugh,
I know.
What
We
are
just
you doing?
watched it.
What happened? We just watched it.
It's crazy. But there was another book that was somewhere on a shelf in the bookstore. So they all start walking that way, and Fred goes to unlock the door, but notices that it's open. But Emily and Sam notice that there's a car, and Emily said, that's the car that was following me. So when they looked inside, they saw an invitation.
No, that's the car she saw at the restaurant pulling away.
Yes, at the restaurant.
Before she realized Glenn had been murdered.
Correct.
She thought she saw Glenn leaving the restaurant because somebody in a Santa costume ran out, and Emily followed him out of the restaurant and the party because she thought it was Glenn.
Yes.
And she was going to go after him, and she saw the car, right? And then the car sped off. And now we see the car in front of the bookstore of Glenn's bookstore, and we don't know what's going on yet.
No. But apparently it's Noah.
Right. It's
Right.
Noah, who is Fred's brother.
Yes, older
and
brother.
Glenn's other nephew.
Yep.
Right.
And we also find out that he left when they found out their mother had
Was sick.
Huntington disease.
Huntington's, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know why he left other than that.
Correct.
So
she got sick and he left, and Glenn took care of her
right
while she was sick until
Right.
she passed away. Right,
Yeah.
right. So,
and then we find out in the meantime that Sam has a folder on Emily. Right? So
yeah, we find that out a little bit later, right?
no,
After
that's
the scene?
around the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That he's
Yeah.
investigating her, apparently. So we don't know why yet, but I'm sure we're going to find out.
Right. And he says it's because she was there the night that Glenn got murdered.
Yep.
He's got a file on her for that reason. He has a file on every suspect, allegedly.
Right.
That's what he tells his daughter. Because she's like, oh, look at this folder. Why are you investigating Emily?
Exactly.
But we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. So
then they arrest Noah. He has to spend a night in jail. And while he's being investigated, because they think he murdered, Glenn.
he might have murdered Glenn. Right. Right.
He tells them how he got the invitation. Right.
Is that when he says
he received a package. It had a key in it, which was to the bookstore, which is why he was in there. Right. So that, and then he also had the Santa Claus suit because whoever ran out of that restaurant that night discarded the suit.
Right.
And he picked it up because that was the suit that Glenn used to wear when they were little. When Fred and Noah were little.
So he picked it up, and allegedly he's saying it's not mine. It was sort of planted. He picked it up, but he's not the one who killed him, even though it's got blood splatter on it and everything else, right? And they arrested him because he broke it. Well, they think he broke in to the bookstore. But then they find out that he actually broke into the law office.
Right.
Because he's like, I didn't do that. And then Sam holds up the USB from the law office and he's like, what about this? And he's like, okay, I might have done one bad thing. Which was kind of funny.
That was pretty funny.
Because he was like, no. All right, you got me on that one. Maybe I did do that.
Right. So in the meantime, Fred goes back to the bookstore and apparently he finds the next clue. Right?
Right.
That's why when they were at the police station, he thought his brother was going to get released that night, but he didn't. So Emily goes and sits down with him and he tells Emily, I went back to the bookstore and I found this. It was on the book on the back cover.
What book?
I can't remember the name of the book.
It was The Night Before Christmas.
Yes,
and it was because Glenn used to read that to him.
Right.
So he figured out that that's where the next clue was.
Yep.
So they have another USB that presumably Glenn recorded, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, did you watch it? And he's like, no, of course not. This is a group effort, a team effort.
Which I thought that was cool. And
so I'm really
Emily
hoping it's not him because he's cool.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be him.
Yeah.
I really don't. And so I guess as Emily's walking home that night, she almost gets run over by an SUV.
Right.
And we don't know, but she does a stop, drop, and roll type.
She really does. Yeah. And she kind of gets up. Yeah.
The car looks like she may have hurt her wrist, but she jumped out of the way.
Yeah.
So she's showing her skills again.
I mean, her mad skill. Well, I don't know. She hit the ground pretty hard. That would hurt.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she was like rubbing her wrist or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Who do you think did it?
I'm telling you right now, I don't know.
I don't have a clue either.
I don't have a clue.
I don't think it's going to end up being Noah or Fred.
I don't think it can be.
I hope it's not anyway. I will be so disappointed if it is.
And I was trying to look at who was still at the party because it had to have been somebody that was already there, right?
At the diner?
At the diner that night.
I would
you think?
Presume so.
So I kind of tried to look at all the characters and I couldn't figure out.
Because we find out that Noah was at the party.
Yes.
But we didn't see him at the beginning. And
because he was just,
I don't know.
He was too afraid.
Because he says he was there to see his brother.
Right. And
not his uncle, but his brother.
But he was too afraid. I
mean, was he? I don't know.
How about that toothpick scene?
Toothpick scene.
Yeah. Emily, I think she's narrating and she talks about the toothpick and how food always tastes better when it's on a toothpick.
Yes, when it's on
When it's on a toothpick.
on a toothpick.
And then Brooke comes up and she says that exact same thing.
Yep. And her and Brooke. And that's another scene where she kind of, in the last episode, she gets closer to Brooke, even though she doesn't want to. But and Brooke is like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Hi," again in this one, which I think is so funny. And I, kind of hoping they end up becoming friends, even like Emily's doing it reluctantly. But Brooke is so like, "Hey, come over here, friend. What are you doing?" So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I just don't know who did it. And I really, like I said earlier, I like Sue in this one. Like when she says Glenn's ghost, I dare him to haunt me.
I know. That was
like
so
she's
funny.
she's so mad that he died in her diner. It's kind of funny.
She said, "I'm the busiest time of the year."
Right. So what else? So we ended up with someone tried to run Emily over.
Yep.
Sam has the file on Emily.
Yep.
Right. Someone's taking pictures of Emily.
Yes.
And we don't know who
that is.
or why that is.
Yep.
I don't think that Glenn knew he was going to die. I'm going to stand by that until we watch the next episode.
I think you're right on that one. I think that was a good catch because I didn't even think about that.
And I really don't know who did. I don't know who I think did it.
No.
Unless it could have been Harvey. Maybe he stiffed Harvey at some point because we don't really know his character yet, and we don't know his relationship.
Right.
He kind of just shows up. So maybe it's Harvey for some reason.
It's so funny because everybody's like, "Oh, okay." They like took his word.
They did. He just came in and it was like, "Hey, how you doing?" They just trusted that he was. Of course, he did have a book.
He did have a book.
So I don't know.
And he's such a jolly dude, right? Like he's always happy.
Did I miss Noah's book with the words? Do we have those words yet or no?
No.
So we need to get those 3 words.
Right.
And then, okay. And we're sure that the sentence didn't lead them to
the one clue
to Fred realizing it was the night before Christmas, or did that just come about because they were talking about something?
I think they were talking about it.
Okay.
I think they were talking about it. I think you're right.
That makes us bad sleuthers.
I know. We'll make sure that won't happen again.
We'll make sure that won't happen again. Right. We're kind of off our game a little bit.
There was one scene I wanted to mention because it reminded me of you. When Emily
of me.
Yes. Emily tells Violet as she's walking out that she just made Employee of the Month. And Violet says, "Oh, thank you." And then she goes, "Wait a minute, I'm the only employee." and Emily turns around and kind of smirks.
Yeah. She's kind of
you
funny.
always say to the kids,
to my son. Yeah.
That, "Oh, you're my favorite son." And he's like, "Oh,"
he always
and then
says,
he goes, "Wait a minute, I am your only son."
I'm your only son. Yeah, he's an adult now, and he still says it. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So I thought that was a fun.
We do say that. I'll go, "Thank you. You're my favorite son. Thanks for doing that for me." And he's like, "Oh, you're my."
And I tell you
I'm
what,
your only son.
Violet as an actor, I think she does a really good job.
I like her a lot. Yeah. She's really cute and good, and
she's always on cue.
Her personality is good, and Emily with the one-liners, and we got, like I said, Sue coming around with her stuff, and it was pretty good episode.
And come on,
this one.
She keeps manipulating Sam. Emily does. It's so funny.
But I don't view it that way as much. I mean,
manipulating,
I think
but she gets her way with it.
Because now she's kind of, she's open about what she's doing. She just, like when they were going to go interrogate.
Yes.
Was it when they went to the attorney? So
yes.
They find out someone broke into the attorney's office. And Emily's like, "I want to go." And Sam's like, "Absolutely not." And then they go to the next scene and Emily's there. You said she's there. She's going to be show. She's going to show because they just show Sam talking to the lawyer.
Out, there she is standing there. And I just laughed. I was like, "You're right."
Yeah, that was pretty funny when but so I don't view it as much as manipulation as she's got these skills, she can use them, and she's, I guess she is manipulating a little bit where she's like, "Hey, how about I look into this?"
Yes.
And it reminds me of, there's a scene, and I'm not going to quote it directly, in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And I don't know if you remember this or not, but the mom, so they're trying to get Tula really wants to go to school, and it would be up to her dad to say yes, so she can leave the restaurant to go work. And they don't know how to approach it. And the mom is like, he's the head, but I am the neck, and I can make, I can turn it whatever way I want,
yes,
to make it work. After they make it. So then Tula's aunt and her mom make the dad think it's his idea.
Yes.
They're like to the aunt, "Don't you need help in the shop?" And the aunt is like, "Yes, I need help." what am I gonna do? She gets really dramatic. It's just so that's what that reminds me of. And then, afterwards she's like, Tula, he might be the head, but I am the neck, and I can turn it however I want. So that's kind of like Emily. She's getting her way in. She's doing what she does. She knows how to do.
Right.
So
I can't wait to find out actually what her past was.
I know. I wonder how much more we're going to learn because they didn't know they were getting a season 2 when the final episode aired. So, or I'm pretty sure they didn't at that time because I think that happened relatively recently in the past several months.
Right.
But so I wonder how they wrap stuff up, or if they did or didn't, or if they left it open, hoping they would get a season 2. So I want to listen to the actual podcast too, but I don't want to because I don't want any spoilers.
Well, we'll listen to it after we're done.
Yeah.
We just got one.
Have a second season. Or they do have a second season coming. So, all right. So what was your tinsel topped moment? If you had to choose one.
When they were in the under the mistletoe store doing
the
words that they found, trying to put them together. But I also had another one.
What's the other one?
The one where Brooke was outside doing yoga. What does she call it?
Snowga. She's doing yoga outside in the winter, and she calls it snowga. Yes. I had that as those two would have been my tinsel top moments. I couldn't pick one, but I loved both of those scenes. She's like, do a tree now or whatever. She's like,
hang an ornament.
And then she makes Emily do it. Emily didn't go out. She went out to talk to Brooke. And then Brooke is like, come on now. Get on the mat.
And did you notice when
that was cute.
When Emily made it back to the store, her hair was kind of messed up? Like she had been working out.
Doing yoga. Yeah,
that was good. I'm glad they did that.
It was really good.
So, out of 5 ornaments, what would you give this?
I'd give it a solid 4.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. We got a new mystery. I, as usual, have no clue who did it. Just taking shots in the dark. I have no basis for it except taking a shot in the dark. So, what about you?
Ooh, maybe it's Fred's wife.
Maybe. Could be.
Yeah, maybe it's her.
Could be.
Because she didn't seem like she wanted to give that book up.
She wanted to do it. Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap. Yes, I think it is. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen so you don't miss one. Also, follow us on social media if you really, really like the show and are listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify. We would really appreciate it if you leave a review.
Yes, if you take the time to leave one, we'd really appreciate it. We might even read it on the podcast.
Yes, we will. We will read it.
Join us next Tinsel Tuesday when we review the finale episode of season 1, episode number 6, Death of a Humbug Part 2. You can catch the entire season of Mistletoe Murders right now on Hallmark Plus. So go check it out and then come back for our weekly reviews. Also, tune in on Wednesdays for our Hallmark movie reviews. Until then, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.